10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, folks. Superfan Dan from California here. First time at the start of the show. Thanks, Baz, for giving me the shot. Trying to work myself into here a little bit to familiarize myself with the whole online appearance thing kind of thing. I like being a co-host, but Baz wants me to start leading some of these shows when his schedule changes. So we'll do that. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. As you know, we played yesterday against Aston Villa at Villa Park, so we're here to talk about that. And as part of that, I'm going to bring in our masterful host. There's Baz.
Yo.
Hello, Baz. So all right. So let me give you just a second here. I'm going to try this. As you know, we hear through black and white eyes. Oh shoot! I've already lost it. Welcome to the show. Welcome to our post-match reaction program. Please adhere to. I'm just going to click through them. There we go.
I don't need to put that one.
No, not that one here. No, that one. This one. Welcome to the latest. Not the transfer show. Go write that one over again. Please adhere to the standard community guidelines. Please keep comments respectful and. Of course, enjoy the show. We've got Leslie in the background as our moderator tonight. So if you get a little too cheeky in the comments, you will find yourself popped out of the program. So evening all to everybody that's on. I see Roger. I see Emily. I see Gary. Hello, Gary. Let's see who else. We got is Blade on yet? Not yet. But we also have. There's Jules. Hello, Jules. Who else? There's Mark. Hey, we have a new member named Mark, who looks like. Oh, it's Sparky Mark. Hello, Sparky.
Thanks for becoming a member, Sparky.
Fantastic. There's Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
Cheeky twat.
I see Shane. Hello. So welcome aboard. All right, Baz. As I've flubbed my way through this, do we want to bring JC on as well, or?
Yeah.
All right, I'm bringing him in. There's JC.
This is the transfer show, though, Dan.
Evening,
the transfer show?
Yeah, but we're talking about a few
things.
Don't we?
You guys had the post-match one yesterday. That was the one.
We did the post-match. It's all right. Listen,
apologies.
Super fan Dan, we're 2 minutes in, Dan, and already you're doing a fantastic job. So long may it continue. All right, we know Baz has obviously got a busy schedule coming up, so we're all here. I might need to have some training sessions as well, but we'll
work together on that, mate. Yep,
we're going to be fine. We'll be fine. All right. What could possibly go wrong?
It couldn't possibly get worse, right? We love you, Baz.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We will talk a little bit about yesterday because this quote came out and I think it's brilliant. And it kind of fits into the transfer show as well. Financial control rules came to football to avoid bankruptcies and payment defaults with a good purpose. But as professionals, we should review it. For this good tool will become a limitation for clubs that are doing good management who will never be allowed to dream and get higher goals. Now, I do actually feel very sorry for Villa. I know they're a rival of ours, the same amount of points as us last season. We scraped into the Champions League at their expense, which has really dented their ability to strengthen their squad. They've actually weakened their squad because of this. You know, Rashford couldn't come back. He went to Barcelona. Asensio has gone back to Real Madrid and he's not coming back to Villa. Might do, he might not yet, but they are handcuffed because of these rules. But so are we. I know we've got a little bit more relaxation this summer, but if we don't get European football next year or Champions League football next year, you'll see Eddie Howe talking about this again and
We'll be
making
in the
this
same boat.
exact quote. So, Dan, how do fans push to get? I mean, I don't even know if fans can, because it's all about the Premier League clubs voting for a change.
Yes.
But can the fans maybe put pressure on the FA to maybe look at reviewing it and then bring in all the Premier League clubs together to then have another vote on maybe relaxing it a little bit?
I was going to say, Baz, I think the players already have done, with banners and such, saying the Premier League is corrupt and such. I think the feeling, the underbelly is already there. The fans are upset, especially the fans of the other 14 clubs. When you think about it, the teams that have the storied histories in the Premier League, the ones that have won it many times over, the Arsenals, the Chelseas, the Man Cities, the Man Uniteds, you're seeing those fans are kind of, the hoi polloi of well, we've got ours, you can't have yours.
We've got our cake, you're not going to get any of it.
Exactly. And they don't want any spoilers to the party. And that's, I think, the biggest thing is we know that we have the richest owners in the world. I keep saying the richest team in the world. We have the richest owners in the world, but we're not allowed to spend the money because of this artificial governing context that is called PSR and financial fair play. You can't spend more than you bring in. Well, we can't bring in what the other clubs have brought in because they've already achieved their things.
Yeah.
And now they've shut the kitchen door behind them, and we're all sitting out in the dining room, like, Oliver Twist with my, please, sir, may I have some more? I think the fans are getting more and more upset about it, and they're seeing it play out. And of course, that also has the fall-on respect to the teams, the clubs themselves, because the players want to go and play for those teams because the wages are going to be higher. The prestige is going to be greater, and we're seeing that currently right now in our club, and it's hurtful. I think it's spiteful to the club that helped these players emerge, and it's hurtful to the fans of those clubs. So, yeah. I think I would love to see the fans have some kind of power. I think unfortunately the only power the fans have is stop going, and that doesn't help anybody.
No, because it doesn't help our financial fair play. The one thing I would say to fans, and I know it won't happen, but everyone cancels Sky Sports.
There's an element of that as well, but then you don't get to see your team.
Oh, there's ways.
Again, I go back to when Tara and I came over in 23 for the first time in a long time with John O'Hare, going into those pubs and seeing, the empty pint glass in the corner of those pub screens, and trying to figure out, we're on the empty pint glass channel, whatever that is, and then we go to the next pub and there was a different game, and that one had 2 pint glasses, but one of them was full of red liquid. The other one was empty. You're just sitting there going, what the hell is this all about? Then people started explaining, that those were official licensed, viewing, where if you went into a pub and you didn't see any of those things, you were watching a dodgy stick. So there you go. Yeah,
pretty much. So basically, every pub pays a much higher fee to Sky, obviously because so many people will be watching it at once rather than in a household. Kathy, thank you so much for that message. Man City fan here. We're looking to getting in, and the cartel then brought down the drawbridge. We support Newcastle for fair play. I mean, Man City aren't scared of us. I don't think Chelsea are scared of us. I think it's the red cartel that are scared of us, JC, because they know we've got the spending power to blow them out of the water. But Chelsea know, and Man City know they can keep up.
Yeah, I agree. And, Kathy said it there. I think Chelsea and Man City were the last ones that did it, and then the door was shut, so to speak. That's not speaking bad. That's just how it was back then. And I think there's a few things with it. You're right; it's a red cartel as such. But to get any change, you've got to have 14 Premier League. There's 14 Premier League teams. How many of those Premier League teams are actually affected by this PSR? That's quite funny.
Sorry, that is brilliant.
No, that is quite funny. I wonder how many are affected so that they actually, I mean, we're all affected by PSR, but how many are significantly? Your Villas, your Newcastles, I would argue,
your Forests,
your Evertons, your Forests.
Yep.
How many of those 14 outside of that Big Six are affected?
Yeah.
I also think the method of how fans generally are going about it. We're all saying, you know, and I've been one as well. We're all saying it's corrupt. Yes, that's fine, but actually, I think there's got to be a better way, because if we're saying it's corrupt,
well, Premier League PSR is not corrupt, is it? Because PSR was in well before.
PSR isn't, but I think it's geared
it's the APT rules. It's the ones on sponsorship.
It's geared towards that Big Six that are already established with high significant turnovers that they've had for years and years previously.
Yeah,
that's the problem, and I think we're saying it's corrupt. That there is an element of corruption there because there is no competition exercise there. You know, if you went to Markets and Competition Authority, they'd throw it out of the water because there isn't a competition with it. The problem is we're saying it's corrupt, so they're just going to double down and go, no, these are the rules. End of story. We need to find a different tact and go around it a different way. But yeah, it is. It's. I think City, Chelsea, they are the most recent incumbents of it, as you say, and they've benefited from it. It's those old-fashioned teams, and I don't like to say it, but I will. Your United, your Chelseas, your Arsenal, who have done things the traditional way without the big owners, whoever they may be, and Liverpool, without your big owners as such, that have come in with all the monies that we've had the Abramoviches, we've got the PIF,
Abu Dhabis. Yep.
Yeah, we've come in, and it's a different era for football. They're very much built on your 80s and 90s football, whereas your Chelseas, your Man Cities, and your Newcastles, and there's others, but certainly those three are built on a different model of football, and I think it needs to evolve. But how we do it is, I think we're going about it the wrong way. It needs to be tackled a very different way.
I think
quickly, we'll come to transfer news soon, Tommy. We've got a schedule, so we have got news. We're just saving it for a little bit later.
So I think the danger here is that people watched in the 90s. People watched with the advent of the Premier League. People watched the teams, the famous teams, your Leedses, for instance, who tried to go about it the traditional way by winning things and then using the money, the prize money that they've got, to try and build themselves up to compete. And what we saw was Leeds overspent, and then found themselves relegated.
That was even before PSR, though, wasn't it? This was just they spent more than their means. That was the problem. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We watched that happen, and as a result, we saw all of these owners start to vote in these competitive brake lights, so to speak, so that we don't have those problems again. We don't see Leeds overspend. We don't. So basically, you can only spend what you've got. But at the same time, as Unai Emery said in that quote, you've got owners who have the resources, who want to build up, who want to be able to, shrug the chains off and bring in the players that they want. But again, I don't think the fan wants to see another Abramovich, another Qatari family come in like at PSG, and all of a sudden everybody's overpriced, and other teams can't compete in the field where a player could be worth £20 million, but Newcastle comes in and pays 100 because they can. Nobody wants to see that either.
I've been a big advocate for a long while, and this is very simplistic, and forgive me if it's too simplistic, and I think I've put it on our group chat, or I've put it on X or something. What's wrong with having, like America does? America for MSL,
MLS,
So sorry, MLS. My apologies.
No.
But they have capped. Why not cap? No player is worth more than, and this needs to come from FIFA. 25.
The horse is bolted on this. I've discussed this loads of times for the last
if you have
couple
it
of years.
25 million tops, and then no more. I get players' contracts are short, their careers are short, but no player really should be getting paid more than, I don't know, ballpark 35, 40, 50 grand a week. Therefore, PSR doesn't come into effect. Clubs like, we've just seen Morecambe in this country, Morecambe have gone under nearly because they can't afford to keep going. Actually, it stops clubs going under because there is not this 150, 100, 200 million thing. No player is worth more than 25 million, no matter who they are. And then it's down to the player. It actually increases competition because, as we've seen, Šeško went to Man United supporter, took a pay cut from what we'd offered him, as far as I'm aware, to go there. And that's what that's for me, that's what it should be about. Then players can go everywhere. FIFA won't do, of course, because they like all the money and the agents and everything like that. But that in its simplest form is that should be football. It's about the fans.
Here's the issue, JC, and the only reason why I corrected you on the name of the league is simply because it's our Premier League here. We are more than familiar with that. I've been a fan of Major League Soccer since inception. So next year will be 30 years. We've seen the rules change multiple times. The beauty of Major League Soccer for its entire history has been that parity part where the league owns 51% of every team. There are local investors that own the teams, but the league itself owns 51%. What we have seen over the 30-year existence, one, there are too many teams now. It's just gotten too big. There's 29 teams in the league right now. That's 9 teams bigger than the Premier League if you put that. But at the same time, look at the size of our country. Those are the things. That's the things like, your Gerards and your Lampards, when they came over and played, they were just not prepared for a long haul flight.
Travel flights
from LA Galaxy to New York City, and some of those flights weren't direct. They were having to make connections in like Chicago or something like that. But what we've seen is the league has changed the rules multiple times, and it started with what was ironically nicknamed the Beckham rule, and that was the designated player, where each team was allowed one of those,
right?
But they were not able to be traded. Well, then Landon Donovan goes over and plays in Germany. Landon Donovan wants to come back, and he wants to go to Los Angeles, but Beckham's already there. Well, then then all of a sudden they changed the rules to where you could trade a designated player rule. So all of a sudden, LA Galaxy pays another team for their DP, and they're able to have both Landon Donovan and David Beckham on the same team. But one team went without, but they got financially compensated for it. Now each team is able to have 4 DPs and then 3 DPs of under 22 years of age, and it's gotten completely haywire.
Complicated. Yeah,
it's gotten incredibly complicated. And then you've got teams like Inter Miami who had more DPs than they reported, and then they got nailed for it.
Cool.
So I mean, there is no perfect methodology, especially when you've always got one club, one owner, somebody who's willing to bend the rules in order to get what they want in order to be competitive.
Yeah. And I'll tell you another reason why the horse is bolted. If you're going to try and bring down a player's wages to a cap, are you going to tell Holland you're going to lose £200,000 a week if he's already on a 300 grand or 500 grand contract? He's not going to go, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm okay with that. He's not, is he?
Here's the next thing. In Major League Soccer, yes, there is a salary cap where the team is capped to a amount of money that the league gives them. That's $7 million or something like that.
Right.
I'm not kidding. $7 million for the year for your entire roster.
Right.
But then the owner can pay above and beyond that.
Right. Well, that's interesting. But again, I mean, it's very different to what the English Premier League is.
Yeah, very much so.
The other thing that really frustrates me with how things are with PSR is that it was brought in so many years ago. The rate of inflation, the prices of players, they've all gone up, but the cap has stayed the same.
Yep.
So that to me, where it needs looking at, it needs to be for this market that we're in now. You can't say you're going to have the same cap 10 years ago when the player prices have gone up probably on average about £20 million a player, haven't they?
Absolutely.
So that's the other reason.
And it hasn't gone up. It hasn't gone up. It's gone up incrementally, but it hasn't gone up percentage wise. I mean, I want to say 10 years ago, the cap for each team, the amount of money that the league provided the team, again, 51% owners of each and every franchise. The league gave each team, each club, $2.4 million for their salary. That was the cap.
Right.
Now it's 7. I bet it's that's 2-year or 3-year-old knowledge. I bet it's closer to like 10 million now. But at the same time, when you've got owners who are willing to pay above and beyond that, Beckham wasn't getting paid 200. He was not getting paid minimum wage. Messi for sure is not getting paid. He's getting paid the league maximum, absolutely. Which I think.
But then his owners will be topping it up.
Which I think it's $450,000 for the season.
Right.
$450,000 for the season. But then his wages, his image rights, everything about it is he's the highest paid player in the league, and everybody knows it.
Yeah. I think another thing that we've not mentioned is how they enforce that. I mean, I don't want to sound like that guy, but Man City have got 115 charges against them.
You had to bring the 115 charges up, didn't you?
No, but even if only half of them, even if a third of them,
none of them will. I don't know how many times I've said this.
No,
I promise you.
I get that. No, I get that. But if there's charges, then there's got to be suspicion about that. Even if only 10% of them. Are they going to be punished? No, we're still lingering now. That's been
but it's innocent until proven guilty. No, it's innocent until proven guilty. You cannot say to Man City, "We're going to stop you from spending until we actually figure out whether you're guilty or not."
But the problem is, Baz, it's been for 2 years now. This has been.
Yeah, but that's not City's fault, is it? That's the Premier League's fault.
No, I'm not saying it's City's fault. But you've got these PSRs. Everton got stung massively last year.
Yeah, but it's different though, because Everton
over one charge.
Yeah, but the charge was guilty straight away. The Premier League went to Man City and said, "We think you're guilty of these 115 charges." Man City said, "Prove it." Right? So then there's this big legal case where the Premier League have been trying to find all the evidence to prove that Man City have broke these 115 charges. Now, why do you think it's lasted 2 years? Because they've found nothing. And it's cost them a fortune. It's cost all the teams in the Premier League a fortune because they've got to pay the legal fees, by the way. Newcastle are paying part of this legal fee for the Premier League to fight Man City's against Man City. I am telling you now, Man City will be cleared of all charges. They wouldn't have found anything, and the only thing they'll get is a fine for non-compliance. And the Premier League are not releasing that information right now because it makes them look stupid. It really is. That is it.
Then equally, if they said, "Oh, there's 115 charges," not proven guilty, fine. Yeah, it makes their PSR rules look stupid because they've said there's 115 breaches of PSR allegedly.
It's not PSR.
But now they're going to turn around and say, "Oh, actually, there's not because we're not got any of it." So therefore, PSR is blown. Do you know what I mean? It's blown straight out of the water a bit.
It's not PSR. It's to do with the sponsorship deals that they signed. Whether they were signed within when they were doing when they changed the rules. It's not that they broke PSR rules at all. They're saying that they've done something dodgy to like paying players more than what they said they were paying them.
But does that not all come in? Doesn't it all come in like Chelsea selling its women's team for £1 or something?
No, it's just women. Chelsea sold the women's team for like 200 million.
200 million.
Well, whatever. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Does that not all come into it though? This is what I'm saying. It's a bigger picture of it.
There is, but the problem is that, and I've said this and Martin said it, and everyone said it, and Stefan knows this. Man City will not be spending the money they're spending now if they're guilty. Because if they are guilty, they're going to be put down to like League One, League Two, and then they wouldn't be able to. They can afford to pay the players and all that sort of stuff, but it would look stupid, wouldn't it? They know they're not guilty, and that's why they've gone out
in League Two.
Yeah, And that is why they've gone out and bought all these players, because they know they're not guilty. They're just not released it, because if it's released, it then makes the Premier League look stupid. It makes the rules look stupid. So things will have to be changed again to start closing more loopholes. Now, I personally think they're trying to write the rules now before they release it, so they can actually do that. There's a comment I want to go back to. I had it on the screen. I can find it again, because this is another thing that people really do get confused with. Oh man, where's it gone? No, not there.
Is it Chris D?
No.
Is it this one?
No. Damn it.
Was it the sponsorship?
What was the gist of it? And I'll go back.
It was sponsorship one. It was the sponsorship one. So it was.
Who said it?
Yeah,
I'll
they said
quickly
that.
scroll back through and I'll tell you in a second, Baz. Hold on.
I remember it briefly. It was about Man City's sponsorship deal. When will it be cleared, and will it be cleared of fair market value? Fair market value with they've got Puma, haven't they? Is it Puma?
They're Puma. Yep.
Puma, yeah, right.
Yep.
It was by Gary V at 8:49. If you want to get it up.
Yeah. No, I know the gist of it. It's basically saying
the
that
PL approved the City kit deal as fair market value.
Yeah, right. So this is where people forget. Man City don't own Puma.
No.
Their owners don't own anything in Puma. So therefore, fair market value does not come into play, because fair market value only comes into play when it's a company that you own sponsoring a company that you own.
Correct.
Hence the reason why seller can only pay so much at fair market value. The Premier League got to approve it because they're
owned
company. So Puma could pay 500 million a season to Man City, and it would not get looked at because they're two separate companies. So fair market value only comes into play when there's a party involved or owns part of it. So we need to, our fans need to start understanding that a little bit better.
So if Diageo came in and decided they were going to put the Brown Ale logo back on the front of our kit and pay us $100 million a season for it, like City's getting from Puma in their kit deal, we'd be completely above board because PIF doesn't own Diageo.
There we go. Adidas as well is another one. Adidas can pay as much as they want to us. Even about also Nike and Adidas have offered similar, but lower, but similar. Yeah, again,
yes, Leslie. Yes.
Oops, sorry.
I just had it. No, Adidas could come in and pay us $100 million a season. They're paying us 35 right now.
Yeah,
it would
and
be
it
nice
can't be looked at. It won't be looked at because that is, and it's a 10-year deal as well. I mean, if Adidas want to pay us that for 10 years, we would do it.
And ours is only for 5.
Yeah,
you know, who knows where Puma's going to be in 10 years?
Yeah, exactly.
I think the gamble here is Puma's expecting Man City is going to continue to go, up and up, and they'll benefit from it because people are going to buy Puma gear. They're going to buy the kits. They're going to buy the training kits. They're going to buy the boots. They're going to buy everything involved with Puma, and they're going to see their profits rise. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Alan Shearer is the winner. Sorry, just going to this. So Newcastle United all-time Premier League goal scorer, Alan Shearer, 260 goals, 3 Premier League golden boots, and Premier League champion in 1994-95. He is the winner. Basically, they did this silly thing that Alan Shearer is the greatest ever Premier League player.
But we as Geordies knew that already.
Exactly. So there we go.
Confirming what we already knew, Premier League.
Yeah, I love it when they do things like that. Obviously, it's a poll online, so anyone could have voted for it.
Wait, it wasn't Thierry Henry? It wasn't Wayne Rooney?
No, it wasn't. No.
It isn't Erling Haaland? I mean, Erling Haaland has scored so many goals. He hasn't eclipsed Shearer. Damn it.
Exactly. Right, there was a great, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, the Newcastle away fans singing to Kieran Trippier.
I did see that.
He shags who he wants. He shags what he wants. Kieran Trippier.
He shags who he wants.
And he give a nice little wave back. He did. He give him a clap back. And this is why this picture comes in so well, because he was, You know what
that
I'm
was-
talking about.
Oh, and yet at the same time, I hypothesized it was because of his height at the time. Same height as all those girls. So
I love it.
see,
Right.
you don't look happy. Put a smile on your face, mate.
Go on, Jesse, smile.
I'm always smiling. This is my happy face.
It's his resting bitch face. That's what it is.
All right. Well, Jules said like 5 minutes ago. Meanwhile, back at UFC. Oh, cough.
Go on.
No, Jules was just saying, we were talking league stuff, and she was trying to circle us back around to NUFC.
Yeah, but-
We had big news to announce today.
Well, yes, there he is.
There he is.
Mr. JJ, his nickname. He loves his porridge before a game. That's his superstition.
He's the oldest of 3 boys.
And he's dating someone who's from Tynemouth. Happy days.
Yep.
And he's definitely wearing the number 41 because we all saw that. How pleased, JC, are we with this signing?
I'm not sure.
Ooh,
And
really?
the reason I say I'm not sure is because his midfield, we've got a very strong midfield. Yes, we need that depth for Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure. I'm not sure quite where he fits yet. You know, we've got a very pacey front three, obviously, as it was yesterday. Very pacey, very fast, very skillful. The midfield 3 are sorted. I'm just not quite sure where he fits in. That's my only thing. He's a great player, and I think he did, 29 games last season, 1 goal, 5 assists for those statisticians like me.
He had an injury, though, didn't he? And he was
He did have an injury, yeah.
He had a lot of those games with drips and drabs, weren't there?
Still 29 games. That's not bad over the season.
Yeah, how
I
many
know
did
they had a Champions League run and that, but I'm just all I'm concerned. I'm just not sure where he fits, and that's my concern. He's a good player, and he's a good match. Eddie likes him. He likes Eddie. He obviously sees something. I just need to see how he blends in.
The way I see it, he's 2-footed. He plays genuinely.
Two-footed.
Yeah, but come on, Jesse. But just to give you very quickly, Dan, he only started 19 games last season out of the 29, so that puts into perspective a little bit.
Well,
on his stats.
and we know. I mean, with Joe Willock already injured for could be up to 12 weeks. We don't know how long.
Yeah.
And the fact is, Joe Linton is going to get injured. Bruno and Tonali are going to be our ever presence. We know that. We're going to see them game in, game out. Hopefully, we'll be able to give them some time to recover for the league games. The League Cup games, the FA Cup games, give them some rotation capability. We're going to see these guys play in the Champions League. We're going to see them play in the Premier League day in, day out, week in, week out. Where I see Jacob Ramsey coming in is he's going to provide a not a replacement, but a rotational player of different quality to Joe Linton. We won't have to play Joe Linton in every game simply because he's the only thing we've got. This would give us the capability of resting a Joe Linton for the teams where we know we're going to need a bruiser in midfield. Jacob Ramsey is going to give us the capability to get someone in there that's going to be able to connect midfield to the front. Maybe Harvey Barnes doesn't have.
He's a box to box.
He is a box to box midfielder, and admittedly so. And quite frankly, the only one in our midfield right now that we have in that is Bruno.
Yeah.
Tonali is the deep playing playmaker. He's the.
But he can get in the box as well if the tactics allowed him to. I think
we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramsey's going to be the Energizer Bunny, so to speak. He's going to be the guy who's running everywhere. Monterey Bay has a player named Adrian Rebelliar who's like that. He covers every blade of grass, every game, and he's just knackered at the end of it. But you can count on him to be everywhere, 18 to 18. Every blade of grass he's covered. And I see Jacob Ramsey is playing that role.
Well, this is what Ben Jacobs said. More on Jacob Ramsey, a long-term Newcastle target who was viewed as a tactical fit. Newcastle have been targeting a 21 to 25 age profile this summer. Andy Howe led the negotiations with Aston Villa. Tough negotiation at times prior to striking the deal. There is some add-ons, but they're actually very hard to achieve. So this isn't that just hasn't come out of the blue for the club. This is a player we've been chasing for a while. Eddie Howe obviously likes him. And like we said, yes, our midfield three are solid, but they can't play 50 games a season. And this is where we need that quality to come in who might have a run of games while someone has to sit out for a little bit and rest. And this is the sort of player who, if we maybe had on Saturday, might have got that goal that we needed because he likes to get into the box. He's got an eye for goal. He's got
Late
an eye
arrival.
for assist.
Yep.
Yeah. So there we go. Hi, is this a Notts County? Oh, God. Yes, it's a Notts County podcast. We love Notts County. There we go. Right. Ooh, there's loads of chat going in.
Yeah, what's this one?
Have they got the budget to buy the Leicester midfielder with the release clause of 25 million? So, Kanusi, there's a lot of other teams who are interested in him now. I think Palace are looking at him because Eze could be off to Spurs. There's another player who's done things right. Eze apparently has said he wants to leave and go to Spurs. Played, probably should have scored the winner against Chelsea today. Shows you the professionalism of that person, doesn't it? Here's that other rumor that everyone's talking about at the moment. So I don't know much about him, to be completely honest with you. He's obviously a player that we like. And we do need another midfielder in my eyes because I think if you've got three in midfield, you need at least 5 or 6 who are going to be able to come in and still have the team strong. I think Miley could go out on loan if he comes in, but there's no solid info on this guy yet. So I don't know, have you heard anything, John, or seen any other news about him? I don't know much about him.
No, I mean, I only saw a brief, I think it was earlier today. I think Leslie shared something about him. I don't know much about him. I know he's got the same agent as Sandro.
Yeah.
I mean, going back very briefly, I wouldn't like to see Miley go. I think he offers something very different and unique, and I think he's that young. I want to say hothead, but I don't mean in terms of an aggression. I think he's like a young baller who just wants to run everywhere. You know, we just talked about Ramsey running everywhere. I think if you give him a chance, Miley just wants to run the show because he's got that young. Is it tempestuous? I think is the word. You know, he just wants he wants to be involved in everything. So I wouldn't like to see him go. Fratesi, I don't know much about him.
I think he's got 25 Italian caps, to be fair. So I know that little bit about him.
I mean, you know, he's got to be solid. Obviously, as I say, it helps having the same agent as Tonali, and maybe Tonali's got I don't want to say, you know, he's got a bit of a nibble in there. Not that should affect anything, but we know it does nowadays.
Yeah, it helps.
And again, if he's 25 caps for Italy, it can only bolster that midfield. As I see Ramsey, like we just said, you know, we're going to need those three: J7, Bruno, and Tonali. They're not going to play 50 games. They're not going to play 50 games at all. We need that to bolster that midfield. Maybe he's somebody in there who can do that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to get minutes if we buy 2 new midfielders coming in, 2's in the pecking order. I like Miley, but he came on and didn't really affect the game that much against Villa. I was a bit disappointed.
I don't think he had many minutes though. What do you have? 15? I think
20?
he needs a good half an hour at least to get into it. You know, you can't, like we said, what could Asula do with 10? Like he came on.
Well, he had 2 minutes. That was ridiculous.
But, you know what I mean?
I think Miley had a decent chunk to be able to get into it, and I don't know. I wasn't impressed. Let's put it that way. I do like Miley though, and but there we go. Left and right. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Appreciate it. Obviously, don't forget we'll be live on this channel on Wednesday night with Martin doing the Oil Brothers show again. I'm looking forward to doing
Kathy.
that again. Yeah, right.
I honestly hadn't heard anything about Fratesi until an hour before we went on air. I didn't.
It all came out today, apparently.
Fratesi, you know.
Fratesi.
Yeah, I'd be interested. But the problem is he's not a striker, and that's who we need to be going after. If Brentford's signing Bournemouth striker, now let's Wissa come to Newcastle. That's great. That's still and I loved it because Tim Sherwood said it again this morning on the Saturday panel. He's like, that's great. That's the replacement for Callum Wilson. That's not the alternative to an Isak, you know. And so while I appreciate that we're going after a Fratesi, if we've got the money in the budget to go after Fratesi, great. None of us saw Jacob Ramsey coming. That was out of the blue. You know, all of a sudden within 48 hours, we got him after seeing Chow sign on. You know, we were thrilled to get another center back. That's the center back that we've been looking for. We've been after him for 2 years. All of a sudden we get
new midfielder.
All of a sudden we get Jacob Ramsey. So Jacob Ramsey comes in to provide us a backup to Joe Willock. You know, and bolsters our midfield a bit. Wissa comes in. Let's say Wissa gets announced tomorrow, maybe Tuesday.
So
whatever.
the news I've got is Wissa will be done by Tuesday. Ramos is definitely someone we're looking at, but someone mentioned he started tonight for PSG. So I'm not sure. I think Ramos could be a smokescreen, and I'm hoping it. The club are looking at Samu at Porto. So, but there is still that chance that Isak is going nowhere. So, here's my crazy idea. All right, and it's crazy because it's a lot of money. If Isak is staying, right, and he's apologized, because I know a lot of Newcastle fans will not welcome him back, and I'm sort of the same. I'm in the region, right? If he comes back and he plays another season for us with a new contract that's got a release clause that you can leave next summer for a certain amount to certain teams, not Liverpool. I still wouldn't welcome him back, but I'll still be quite happy he's here because he's one of the top 3 best strikers in the world. So my idea is, go on, if he scores, we celebrate, but we turn our backs to him and celebrate in the crowd because he's turned his back on us, so we turn our back on him. But we still celebrate because it's a goal for Newcastle. The other crazy part of the idea is, if Isak has to stay for a season and we know we're going to lose him next summer, buy Samu now and loan him straight back to Porto and say, have that year what we want you to develop. Show us it's not a one-season wonder. And when Isak leaves next summer, you come to us after your loan's finished and you are our main striker. That's what I would do.
At that time, he's 22 years of age.
Yeah.
With another year of growth at Porto under his belt. He's scored 19 goals in 43 games or something like that?
More than that, wasn't it? I think he scored 20, 26, 27 last season. Through the whole season, I think, including cup games as well. But that's what I would do. If Isak's staying, I would still buy Samu now, and I would say to Porto, have him for another year, look after him, develop him the way you've been doing it, and when Isak leaves next summer, that's it. But if Isak's going now, then we buy Samu now and we bring him in. We've got to take that risk because for me, he's the only diamond, the rough diamond left when it comes to anyone under the age of 23. And we want someone in that age bracket who Eddie Howe can mould. And I think he could be it. I think he's the next Drogba.
I don't disagree with you, Baz. I like the idea of having one of the top 3 strikers in the world at our club. But I don't. I don't think we're going to get top 3 striker work out of him. I think he may, even if he signs a new contract that
It's
has
a World Cup year, though. He's running the risk, isn't he?
You and I, all 3 of us understand that. The fact of the matter is he's acted a prick all summer.
True.
And I don't see him changing that methodology, even with a new, an updated contract with a release clause. All of a sudden, he still simply does not want to be here. There was I saw another thing this morning that when Shearer interviewed Isak and asked him point blank, will you take the number 9 jersey? He's sitting there going, I like the number 14. I like the number 14. There's nothing wrong. I know he knows that the number 9 jersey comes with, a legacy at St. James's Park. I understand that. But he wears the number 9 for Sweden.
True.
And I've heard him say, I've heard others say, well, the reason why he wasn't, he's not, there's no reluctance to wear the number 9 for Sweden because his idol Abramovich wore the number 10, wore the number 11. He didn't wear the number 9 for Sweden, so it's not a big deal. What number does Gyökeres wear for Sweden when he plays? Is it 10? Is it 11?
Might be. Oh, is Elanga not 11? I don't know.
Elanga, I want to say Elanga was. I don't know. Doesn't matter. My feelings are Isak's head has been 100%, 180 degrees turned. He has no interest in being here. I don't think if at the end of this transfer window it shuts and he's still at the club, we're not going to get anything out of it. He's not. I don't feel he will ever put on the kit again. I don't feel he'll ever step foot in St. James's Park again. We will have a 150 million pound effort. Asset sitting in someone else's kitchen doing something else. You won't have anything to do with us.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
That's my feeling. And more than anything, I'm brokenhearted for Eddie Howe because Eddie Howe's the one that convinced our owners to take the gamble on him. Here's a guy who scored 6 goals in 32 games. He wasn't tearing up trees in Sociedad.
No, he had a bad season, didn't he? But he had a great season the season before. And that's where everyone looked at him and went, there could be something there. Then they sold a midfielder that he linked up well with, and it didn't really work out. But his record wasn't that bad. I think it was 72 games, 33 goals he scored for Sociedad. Something like that. I can't remember the full stats, but it wasn't as bad as what people make it out to be. But we took a risk. Don't get me wrong. Everyone was like, they looked at that one season and went, should we really have spent 63 or whatever it was, 73 million on him? And then Eddie Howe's turned him into, he's obviously put a lot of work in himself, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
he deserves a lot of that credit.
Do it himself. Yep.
But, he also didn't do it himself because the team helped him. The team supported him.
Yep.
They fed him. Do you know what I mean? So,
yep. I think Jacob Murphy has a lot to say about his development.
Yeah.
I think Bruno Guimaraes has a lot of say in his development. Anthony Gordon has a say in his development. We're going into a Champions League season with Willa as our only striker, and that just scares the piss out of me.
At the moment.
And even if we bring Wissa in, again, I say Wissa's going to go play in the African Cup of Nations, so we're going to lose him for another 5 weeks. We're back to Willa only. So we need to bring in somebody. And my feelings are, Baz, if we were to bring in a Samu and turn around and loan him back to Porto, we're still back at square one.
Well, that's only if Isak stays is the loan back. Is if Isak stays and he has to play for us, he's been told he's not leaving. He's got to honour his contract for at least another year. This, and this. Then I would do that Samu deal that way. If Isak's going and we've sold him, we have to bring. I'm not a big fan of Moses Keane, to be fair.
No.
But I would buy Samu now, regardless, and bring him in, or I would loan him back if there's another option like Isak staying. Jackson's not an option now for us because Wissa is definitely coming. I think it'll be done by Tuesday, is what we've been told. Brentford have got their replacement. Some people say he's a replacement for Mbeumo. They always said if they got another striker in, they would look at letting Wissa go because he's obviously done the same thing as what Isak's done, which I don't agree with at all. But there you go. Is there another player we could take a risk on who's Premier League player, probably be quite cheap? And I know you're all going to laugh at me, but Højlund. There was a lot of noise about him before he moved to Man United. A lot of noise.
I wouldn't be opposed to that because Ten Hag brought him in, and Ten Hag couldn't get what he needed out of him. Eddie Howe can get anything out of anybody. That's my feeling. In Eddie, we trust. So my feelings are bring in Højlund. He could be fantastic for us.
Could you imagine if he was, though? And then the Man United are looking, going, what the hell?
Exactly. Well, it goes back. It goes back to who your coach is. I firmly believe that. Again, Alex Ferguson didn't have the best start at Man United 50 years ago, 45 years ago, whatever.
I don't know. Why have I gone insane by mentioning Højlund? I don't get it. And the other one is, but again, this is another player that I don't think Wolves would sell, but their striker, Larson. He scored 13 goals in a Wolves team that finished, 17th in the league?
He got banged up yesterday against Man City.
Did
he? Yep. We watched that game at the pub because it was the 9:30 match for us. And he got banged up. That Man City defense gave him no respite.
Yeah. But that always happens when you're playing a poor side playing a top side like that. But then if you move him into our team with better players around him, do you get more out of him?
I think the problem with Højlund, he played 52 games last season. All right, a lot of them were probably subs. He scored 10 goals. If that's what, that's not a great return. That's, 1 in 5?
It's not a great return, but everyone's saying Larsson's a very good player, and he only scored 13.
I don't think Larsson's any good either. I don't know where we go. If I'm honest, I don't know where we go. I think Wissa is the Wilson replacement.
Yeah.
I don't know where we go. That's the big problem, and I genuinely don't. We tried to go for what was that?
This is a massive shout.
I could play in Italy.
No, you couldn't.
No, do you know what I mean?
Couldn't.
No, it's a completely different league, Baz.
It is, but you're still talking about a McTominay that everyone said we shouldn't touch him. He's crap. He's rubbish. Yeah, he bangs them in for Scotland against Spain and teams like that. He goes to Napoli and turns into a great box-to-box midfielder scoring goals. That was the worst decision Man United ever made, was getting rid of him, because he was scoring goals in the Premier League as well. He wasn't just doing it when he went to Napoli. He was scoring goals for Man United. He just wasn't the sexy name.
I think the style of play in Italy benefits a McTominay.
Oh, yeah.
I think the rough and tumble of the Premier League was and playing under shit managers is what.
But he was the one scoring goals when he came on and actually kept Man United up in certain areas. Selling McTominay was the worst thing.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I truly am not disagreeing with you. The league, the window is getting really, really tight.
It is.
The daylight is running out, and we need somebody. Go ahead, JC.
I'm of the opinion. I say I've been listening. For me, there's a couple of things. Isak, I don't care if it's World Cup, he'll still play for Sweden. It doesn't matter if he doesn't play all season. He'll still play because they've got no other option. They have a couple of options, but he'll still play for it. So World Cup or not, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. He'll still be in their squad, even if he's still a player for us and he doesn't play all season. I like the Samu idea, but I think we need to get him in. Even if Isak stays, we just get him in. We don't loan him out because he's made it clear he doesn't want to pull on a jersey. Fine. We bring in Samu and we get rid of Isak. I don't think he plays a game again for us. Isak, whether even if he stays after the transfer window, I don't think he'll play a game for us again. I think we took this word integration. I don't think he will be integrated. I think the squad have probably turned against him. They won't say it, but I think the squad have probably turned against him. The fans more than definitely have. And like you said, Baz, if he scores, we turn our back to him. I just don't see him pulling on black and white again. So for me, you get Samu in now, you get Wissa in, and we try to move forward from there. And I think that's all we can do because, like you say, time is getting short now. What, we 2 weeks tomorrow, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, 2 weeks tomorrow, Monday.
So I think we get Samu, don't loan him out, even if Isak stays. We keep hold of him, and we just integrate Samu. And probably, I don't want to say take a hit this year, but we probably look at probably 6th, 7th area.
Yeah, this is the problem though. Then you're not keeping a hold of the other players that we got, and they get a little bit unhappy. To be fair,
But I don't know.
We've got to try and get that 5th spot somehow if we can. But I agree, we're struggling.
I'm sitting here looking at our squad, going, "There's no way this squad starts looking at the situation that we're in currently, and looking at around them, going, I want to be someplace else." There's only one player that feels that way right now. And I think after the window shuts, when our new CEO is announced, when our new sporting director is announced, when all of the pieces start to fall in place, the thing that has made us a laughing stock this season, this summer, when all of the pieces start to fall into place, and we start to see this team perform the way we performed last season, even with the injuries, even with the troubles that we had last season. I see our squad pulling together. I said to Baz earlier, I said, the comments that Anthony Gordon and Dan Byrne made post-match yesterday, there's a subtlety in those words that are being said. They've made it clear. This group, this locker room, they've turned their back on Isak now. They've said he's gone too far. The way he's gone about this is completely wrong. Wayne Rooney said it, if I wanted to leave, I put in a transfer request. That's the way to do it. If Isak wants to go, then tomorrow morning he comes in and he submits a transfer request.
Yeah.
Right. And he will go when we've got our replacement. That's it.
I'm sick of seeing these messages from Liverpool fans. Why don't you just let him go? We will let him go. We will let him go when you finally pay what he's worth. It's as simple as that. You're not going to bully us into selling them for less than what he's worth. You're messing with the Saudis here. They're not told what to do. They will decide when Isak goes. So offer the 150 million and you can have him. He's gone.
Anytime I see the Liverpool fans saying, hashtag free Isak or just give him to us, I see Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
That's what I do all the time. And this is the other one as well. Is saying not Liverpool a good idea or something Isak will want? Only asking. It's just a joke, mate. If he goes to Liverpool, he goes to Liverpool. It's just us fans don't want him to go to Liverpool because the way that they've treated our football club, the way they've treated the situation, and the way they're trying to blame us rather than Isak for him going on strike and all this kind of rubbish. So it's just a bit of a joke.
I think what's a bit key as well, it links in what you just said, Baz, is he's not worth 150 million, he's 110, 120. No. We've said it's 150. You don't go to Tesco's and buy a loaf of bread that's £1.50 and say, I'll give you £1.10 for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a price. I know that's a very simple and probably not the right analogy, but it's the same idea. We've said 150. That's the price. Pay up or jog on. And I think Liverpool fans are like that. Well, he's not worth that. No, if you're not going to pay it,
you're not getting
somebody else.
There's a spar on the street. Go for it.
Yeah. Watkins, Villa won't sell him. Why would Villa sell Watkins when he's their only striker? I know they're trying to sign another one.
It's a shame.
Jackson's apparently linked with Villa. I mean, Watkins would be great as a short-term deal. The only thing I don't like is buying two strikers at the age of 29. You have to replace them both at the same time again, and then he's stuck in the same situation. So,
well, it does give us a couple of years breathing space, maybe.
Yeah,
that's the thing. We're almost getting down to last chance saloon as such. I don't like to say that word, but we're getting down to it's knuckle time. If it gives us a couple 18 months, 2 years, it gives us breathing space.
They've still got to do the job as well, though. That's the thing. So I don't know.
Watkins can do a job. Watkins knows where the net is, I think.
Yeah, I do like Watkins. Don't get me wrong. I'm sold on Samu. I always have been.
Oh yeah.
That's my problem. So I'm like, just fucking sign him. I think we have to take a hit on Watkins. I know. Yeah, but I don't think Villa will sell him unless they get somebody in. If they get Jackson in, they might consider it because of their PSR situation. But they really need 2 strikers through the season, because is Jackson going to have the mentality not to get sent off and miss games? I'm not so sure. And if he's not playing, they don't have a striker. I would love Bowen. How many times have I said that on this channel? But I think it's past that stage now because of his age, and the money that they'll want for him is crazy. And why would West Ham sell him? There's another reason. But Paqueta should definitely be somebody we should be looking at. The problem is that we've got a price tag on Isak that we would believe are worth. There were multi-clubs in the table. Liverpool would come 130, I think, and then we would make a decision.
I'd agree with that bit. I know it's not 150, but if you come 130, they've met us halfway. I'd probably, if it was me, I'd probably take that.
Yeah, so they've got 2 strikers now. We want 2 strikers. So why would Villa give up a striker when they've got European football to worry about as well? So, they're putting themselves in a very dodgy situation if they do sell a striker and they're left with 1. I just don't see it happening, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, sorry. I was talking about Mark. What Mark said.
No, that's fine.
130.
Yeah, the 130.
I'd probably take that, I reckon. I know it's not the 50, but I'd probably take it. It's halfway, isn't it? It's,
The only thing for me is if you take that, we're losing 40 of it straight away anyway to pay Real Sociedad off. So we're only getting 90. That's why we want the 150. So we've got over 100 million to spend. So what's that one about Tesla? Sorry. Is that about
Tesla,
the training ground?
Yep.
Maybe I've heard that, but I don't think it's true.
God, I hope not.
Lineker has got a job.
As an American, I say, God, I hope not.
Hasn't Lineker gone to Dezan or someone like that? I'm sure he has.
I thought he was doing something at ITV.
It could be.
I heard something. He was doing something at ITV. I don't know what, but I'd heard somewhere he was doing something at ITV.
Yeah. I thought you went to Dezan, signed him up as well. Or was that Jeff Stelling? I can't remember. Anyway, I've obviously been talking about the rat quite a bit, haven't we? So this is what Shearer had to say about him. Alex isn't going about it the right way. He's letting the club and the fans down. He's taking liberties. You can't refuse to train or play. You've got 3 years left on your contract. He's absolutely spot on. Wayne Rooney said it as well. I mean, even Bonglahor said it. Paul Merson, I'm honestly, just stop the world. We might as well get off now because all these people who hate us are actually in our corner for a change, and I'm not used to it. Absolutely not used to this one single bit.
Gabby Bonglahor. Seeing Gabby Bonglahor talking about
Game
us
show
in a positive light.
I saw something today. I think I can't remember if it was on X, but somebody said, "Oh no, the 6 years that we got him to sign was so we got a big fee." Well, no, you sign it, 6-year contract. That's for you to work for 6 years.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to, most places you go and it's very simplistic. You hand your notice in, or you ask for a transfer request in football. You don't just down tools. He signed for 6 years. We expect him to play for 6 years.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't want to, then you ask politely, "I'd like to go somewhere else. Please, can we look at this?" Done. So it's not about getting a big fee at all, like some people think. Yes, that helps us. Don't get me wrong. But it's also, we've invested a lot into him. And, and that's it. It's not just about getting that big fee. He signed a contract like we all have. We've all got contracts at our jobs.
Yeah,
you have to adhere to those contracts, and if you're not going to, then you get fined, you get whatever, that's it.
Disciplinary, sacked, But the other thing about a 6-year contract as well, and what a lot of people actually forget, we took a risk asking him to sign a 6-year contract. He could have broke his metatarsal, he could have done his knee ligaments, he could have done anything and been out for a season, and we would still be paying those wages fully for his term of injury. So we're also taking. I mean, he could have flopped, and we could have had him for 6 years. We're scripting about. I know we are. I know, Gary. I'm sorry,
but historically, he has never spoken well of us. And
no, he hasn't.
we are not doing the wrong thing. Isak is in the wrong. That's what I was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't forget, guys. I mean, he signed a 6-year contract for like 120 grand a week, and if he didn't turn out to be the player he was, he'd still be getting paid 120 grand a week.
And
people
his
forget about this.
agent reading the verbiage of that 6-year contract didn't see the need for a release clause in it. So it's not us. It's not us. We didn't offer one because they didn't ask for one.
Yeah.
If there was an ask for a release clause, if they saw there was some possibility that the 6-year contract wouldn't be fulfilled, and halfway through, they wanted to explore options and see what else was out there, they had their opportunity and they chose not to. This is not it's not on our club. I am sick and tired of hearing the pundits and fans going, Newcastle are screwing up. We have done nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Oh, man. Right. Don't forget, guys, there's a membership option. Top of the chat, there's a link. It takes you to a membership option. If you want to become a member, it helps us to pay for the running of the channel. And then anything added over what the costs of the channel, we then put it to a side, and then we try to get good guests on, like Graham Bailey, like Luke Edwards, and we offer them a charitable donation to a charity of their choice. Yeah. Lots of words to get out there. Diacro, amazing, a little family-run company in America who do amazing and UFC bespoke T-shirts. 20% off using code BAZ20. Link is in the description. If you're not from the area in the Northeast and you are visiting soon, get on to the Geordieland Experience. They'll take you on tours, talk about the history of the area, and let you know everything that needs to be known. And this is to Alexander Isak. I also couldn't find the Coke bottle I was looking for with his name on it. And finally, the Oil Brothers are doing their second episode. That will be on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Me and Martin, the Mancunian way, through Black and White Eyes, sticking together as Oil Brothers and just talking football, guys. It could be anything. Come and ask questions and we'll try and answer them for you. Baz, did you see that Hall play? He played the full 90 minutes. Fantastic. I didn't know. I know they were playing. Hall played and Park played. Apparently Park wasn't very good, which is a shame. But there's still time for him to settle in. And Lewis Hall is getting up to speed so he can play, obviously, back at left back again. So we're looking forward to that one. It's all ifs and buts. The reality is we need to make a decision on him in the next 2 weeks. The reality is he's going, and we have Wissa with Gordon number 2, or Sealand number 3. That's the potential, Mark, and that's the worst case scenario, is that we've definitely got one striker in who, don't forget, scored 19 Premier League goals last season and none of them were penalties. If he can produce that again for us this season, we're in that top 5 conversation again.
Yep.
Because we've got players around who will score goals as well.
Yep.
This is our current squad that I think I've got everyone in there put together. It's actually looking so good, apart from up top. If we can add Wissa in there and then add another, finally find a number 9 who wants to wear the number 9 shirt with pride and wants to bang in the goals, that
it
is
doesn't look bad.
Top 5.
Doesn't look bad at all.
Does it? There's strength and depth now. We can pick between 5 centre backs. We can pick, Tino Trips, Holo, Tino on the left. You've even got Target sitting there, who's not a bad left back, really. I mean, I don't know. He just fell off the cliff, didn't he? But he's actually still a decent player. Gordon and Barnes, Park on the left.
He looked good against Espanyol.
Yeah, he did. Alanga and Murphy on the right. Everyone in the middle are fantastic. We've got the nucleus of a squad.
Baz, I also noticed. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because he hasn't gone on loan yet, and because we haven't seen any outward motion there, and the fact that the number 30 jersey has been taken and announced, Harrison Ashby isn't in that diagram at all either. He can play at right back. He can play. He showed us that he was actually willing to play in central midfield against Espanyol, and he didn't do badly. No,
he did all right. I mean, there's also the other Harrison as well, who plays number 10.
Harrison. Yep.
Alfie Harrison, who was apparently very good in the under-21 game. So, we've got players potentially coming through as well. So Ashley played well today. I just don't know if they're top 5 quality yet. That's remained to be seen. But again, there's options. Now, I did mention this in the last transfer show, and I got scrutinised for it, but is Mitro not an option? He could be free transfer.
How old is he now? 30?
30, 31, I think. As a free transfer, right? He's still banging in the goals, or was banging in the goals, or still is. He's 30 years old. He's 30.
Saudi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in the Premier League, before he went to Saudi, 23-20, was it 23-24? Was it 22-23 for Fulham?
No.
He played.
Roger says.
But in fact, for Fulham, he played 24 times, started 23, scored 14 goals for Fulham before he went to Al Hayy.
In the Premier League, that's correct.
Yeah,
he was
in the Premier League.
He was banging them in for Fulham in the Championship as well. That's not to be.
I like when he played for us originally. I liked Mitrovic. I know it was Championship mainly, but he absolutely bullied everybody. And I think sometimes we've got a lot of, I call them dancer players. You know, your Gordons, like that. Gordon did that run yesterday when he went onto that left wing. We said last night, didn't we, Baz?
Yeah.
When he went onto the left wing, he danced in. He took 4 players on and away. He kind of danced in between them. I don't mean that disrespectfully, dancers, but sometimes you need someone who's just a bit like an Akin Fenwar was at Wickham, just a big bolshy unit that's going to just shove and within the rules, but just shove and be that unit.
Nasty, yeah.
Yes, nasty. He did it in the Championship, and he was probably that season. He was the Championship's best player, I thought.
Well, he could be our Daryl Murphy. He could be our Daryl Murphy in the Prem.
Yeah. He is worth a shout. Get him in. Look, at the end of the day, he knows where the net is, and he'll pop you probably 5-10 goals in. He won't play a full game, but if it's nil, like yesterday, it was 0-0. You bring him on with 30 minutes to go, he will, especially with 10 men down. Down to 10 men the other way around. He will bully people and he'll cause havoc.
Yeah,
which opens up for people like Gordon, Barnes, Ilanga to have that shot and go from there.
Yeah, there's another option, and I don't know a lot. I've seen a lot of them, but Neve apparently has been pulling trees up in the under-21s.
Yeah,
I mean, should he be given a chance ahead of Asula?
I don't know.
It fits the narrative, doesn't it? You know, he's coming through the ranks. Does that put Asula's nose out of joint? You know, Asula at the minute's looking like, I mean, obviously Wissa, until Wissa does definitely sign, which we know he's going to, Asula's looking like, oh, this is it, this is my time.
Yeah.
But you've got to be thinking, hold on, I'm the only known striker really. Forget Isak. I'm the only known striker, and I only got 2 minutes yesterday at 0-0 when it was going to be a 0-0 after that. I didn't really have a chance to make anything. You'd be a little bit peeved.
I don't know if he's that kind of character, to be
fair.
No,
but do you know what I mean? Can you see what I'm saying now?
I get what you mean, but
you're the only striker, and still, I don't even get a shout in here.
Mitro came to us at the wrong time when he was young. He went away, went to Fulham, grew up as a man, and became a very good striker in the Premier League. He then got the option to go to Saudi for a hell of a lot of money. He was one of the first ones to go over there, wasn't he? When the door opened. And he's now done his time over there. He'll get all his money tax-free. He could be released as a free transfer. Now, for me, I just think he's worth a shot because he will want to come back to Newcastle.
He wants to wear the number 9.
Yeah, if he's a player, if you want a player who plays for the badge and plays for the club, who idolises Alan Shearer, Mitrovic, he's the last of a dying breed of those guys who were growing up watching Newcastle play when we were okay. There's not many of them around now because of that 14-year black cloud we had over this football club.
Yep.
But Mitro loved Alan Shearer. He loves Newcastle. I would get him in. I mean, Jesus Christ, how many other players we given chances to? Like Michael Bridges, because he was a local lad. Didn't even score a goal for us. Michael Chopra, he did his bits, then moved to Sunderland. We had the guy who went to Blackburn. He was never good enough, but he was brilliant in the Championship. Never good enough in the Premiership. I forget his name. Armstrong. Yeah. When he came on as a sub against Sunderland, and he ran through on goal, and all he had to do was square the ball to Sissoko to win the game or equalise. I can't remember what it was. And he took the shot himself and hit it straight down the goalkeeper. And it was terrible. I went, that lad will not make it in Premier League football because he's taken the wrong decision. So, we've given all these other lads a chance. I just think Mitro coming back for maybe 1 or 2 seasons is maybe a second or third choice striker, someone who's going to be a free transfer, someone who, you probably won't ask for huge wages because he's just been paid an absolute boatload from the Saudis anyway. So he kind of owes them a favour. Come to Newcastle, help us. And
he still loves the club. The fact of the matter is he loves the club, but I don't think his head is straight. I still don't think his head is straight. And yeah, he's older now. He's going to be slower.
He's wiser. As long as he gets in the box and puts the ball in the net.
First of all, to call him wiser means you've actually inserted a brain in that skull because he didn't have one when he was here.
I love that he's a bit of a loose cannon though. I love it because sometimes that's just what you need. And Baz, you said, Baz, that when he went to Fulham, he started banging him. I think we made him. I think it was that season in the Championship when he just was like players couldn't cope with him. I'd love to see it now. Just something. A lot of players now are a bit too fragile. Is the word I'll use. Fragile and that. No, get in there. Let him get in amongst them just for fun.
Yeah, as a free transfer, and there's another option.
Then he can send Sesko into Rose Ed. He can stick Isak into Rose Ed as well when he plays them. Done. Happy days. He goes down as a legend.
There was somebody put on Twitter I thought was absolutely hilarious. It was yesterday. They said, watching Newcastle have a goalless draw against Villa makes you wonder why they didn't sign Cunha, Sesko, or Mbeumo. And then they can't even score today. I was just like, no, this lad.
I'll tell you what, Sesko today looked more like Tesco.
I mean, he didn't get long either, did he?
No, but he still looked poor.
I know. Give him time. I think he's going to be a good player.
I was just disappointed because I was expecting Arsenal to go through Man United like a hot knife.
I was not impressed with Arsenal.
I wasn't impressed with either.
No, I said after the game.
Today.
No, toothless.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed that, Dan. I had a picture of toothless put up on the screen and everything.
And we didn't put it up.
No, I did yesterday though about our attack.
That's why I was sending them. Yep. I will tell you right now. I had 3 TVs set up on the pub bar last night. I had the Spurs. I had the Spurs Burnley match on. First of all, I didn't expect to see Dubravka, to start. I wasn't expecting that because I thought there was a 75% chance that he was going to play. I didn't expect to see Trafford start for Man City. That one surprised me. But I also, geez Louise, the middle TV had the Mackhams versus West Ham.
Oh God, I couldn't believe that. That made me sick. Made me sick
in.
Yesterday at work.
And then the Brighton Fulham game ended exactly as I expected it to. JC can vouch for me. I think that was the only one I got right in my prediction yesterday. But I knew that's how it was going to end.
I just had to Google this, Jag, and I think he signed for Juventus.
He did.
Yeah. So he's not free anymore.
But there was go back, guys. Let's also look at that. Jonathan David, Canadian player, played very well in France. There's got to be, or Germany, sorry. There's got to be a reason why. As a free transfer, 25 years old, there's got to be a reason why nobody in the Premier League took a look at it.
That's why.
Okay, there you are.
Modric just came on from Milan and we're talking age, but yeah, Mitro too old and too slow.
And then go to the next one. That was an interesting one.
Yes. Obviously, that's a different type of show. I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday night, the new rules on the Premier League. But yeah, first keeper. I knew it would be. I thought it'd be Pope, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because Pope's quite slow at getting rid of the ball, isn't he? But they had to be one of our old keepers, didn't it? But there we go. Right, let's end it there, but I want to end it on this. The badge on the front of the shirt is more important than the name or number on the back of the shirt. It is as simple as that.
100% correct.
Exactly. No player is bigger than this football club unless you're Alan Shearer. Right? It's as simple as that. Isak is not Alan Shearer.
No.
Isak will never be Alan Shearer. He had the chance to be, but he
I was
never
gonna
will
say,
be
that's-
Alan Shearer.
That's the horrible part, is he had the chance to be, didn't he?
Yeah. And he could have been.
Yep.
It's just disappointing, isn't it? But that squad is looking very, very good. We
You put
just need
Wissa and AN other underneath Asula right there. And AN other becomes the number one, and you put Wissa and Asula underneath. That's a formidable squad right there.
exactly. I think we have definitely got the nucleus of a top 5 team. I think the top 4 sorted. I honestly don't see anyone breaking Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. I don't see anyone breaking them 4 unless one of them really drops off, which I think could be Arsenal because they haven't really strengthened as much as they have. But yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, I'll take 5th because I think 5th will be Champions League next season because we've got 6 teams in the Champions League this year, which means more points coming to us to help us get that 5th spot again. So let's just hope that happens. Let's hope Villa win the Europa League. Good luck to their campaign. I put them as favourites to win that, especially with Emery as the manager. That will then get another team in the future in the Champions League. You know, I think 5th spot could be ours for a little while. So there's lots to like about the season going ahead. I was very impressed with the performance yesterday, even though we did score. I'm also buzzing with all the news that we're getting. And let's just hope a striker comes from left field that we don't know about.
Yeah.
And it just happens. Wissa done by Tuesday. So he can play on Monday and have time.
I trust in Steve Nixon.
Yeah,
He'll go get us somebody.
absolutely.
He was the one that plumped for Isak.
Yes.
So maybe we'll get someone completely out of left field that no one's heard of, no one knows about. Hell, it could be another Korean player. Who knows?
Could be. You never know. You never know. I'm not against that. But yeah, let's just hope we get the signing. The 2 strikers, maybe another midfielder. But the news coming from Ben Jacobs and a lot of them, they believe Newcastle are not done. And they're still pushing for at least 3 players. So let's just hope that happens. And we're here for it. Oh, he's going for it. He loves his laser lights. Thank you, John. Thank you, Dan. Dan, you need to end the show, mate.
Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Through Black and White Eyes. Thank you to our illustrious co-hosts, JC Potter and Baz. And we look forward to seeing you next time. We're out here. Away the lads. Away the lads.
Say, guys.
Oh, shit. I have to go.
Yeah, you got to push the button.
Okay, I'm pushing the button. Bye.